Hey, Mike Callahan. Want to make a quick video talking about mindset of business growth and some of the lessons I've learned in building my second seven-figure business and going out to build that second-figure business to break $1 million and beyond. The first go at it was obviously in the lawn care, landscape, snow removal industry, and in that service business, started at freshman year in high school, worked through college, and didn't really know how to go out and scale a business. And basically it was just hard work and determination day in and day out, knocking doors, grinding some more to build and scale that business pretty quickly. And then once we figured out that sales machine and how to grow the business, became a massive second challenge to kind of that glass ceiling of growth. And what that glass ceiling of growth really encompassed was the owner's mindset or the leadership's mindset, mainly the owner's mindset, being myself. And the problem there is I was ready to delegate, or at least I thought I was. But in order to delegate, you really need to emotionally detach yourself from the things you're doing on a daily basis. The fact that the business owner traditionally thinks that they're the only one that actually can go out and sell and grow the sales is a crazy, crazy idea. But honestly, as all business owners, we think no one can sell better than us. And in order to grow and scale the business with our sales machine, that the business owner needs to be out there selling. So it took several years after college to realize that I was not the best person to sell the lawn care. I may have been the figurehead, but those folks in our organization could sell just as good as me, if not better. And to put that in perspective, so Simple Growth, our business where our mission is really to help entrepreneurs, or basically service business owners, take their life back from their business. That's kind of been my mission, my mission with Simple Growth. But very similar, as we scaled Simple Growth, that the mindset shifted, and I forgot about the conscious decision I made at Callahan's Lawn Care that I was not the only one that could sell, and I wasn't probably the best salesperson, nor did I have a good return on investment. But I knew that at Simple Growth originally, that our overhead didn't really allow for us to have a full-time salesperson outside of myself. So many of the folks that are probably watching this video live or recorded probably talked to me in the earlier days, or even in up to the last 5 or 6 months on the sales calls. And that was pretty predominant. Now Dylan and Kevin on our team have stepped up, and I've realized that Dylan and Kevin are just as qualified, if not more qualified, to talk the sales process. And where Dylan, very similar to myself in Simple Growth, brings expertise is he's lived the trenches for 15 to 20 years in the service industry. Those wounds are still fresh, and we can relate to what's going on and make sure it's a good fit. But it just didn't have to be me, and I had to step back for a minute and say, wait a minute, if we're going to break that seven-figure mark again in a secondary business and continue to grow and scale past 7 figures and provide good customer service, I need to step back and allow Dylan to run that sales machine at Simple Growth. But that wasn't enough, and that's where my biggest mistake at Callahan's Lawn Care happened originally when I went to go delegate it. I thought I had put process and systems in place, but I really didn't. I walked through it. I talked with the salespeople how to do it. But it took several years to figure that out. And it really didn't drive home where their sales basically lapped and overshadowed mine, which I was good with. But the only way that happened was for me to actually create a standardized process of messaging and qualifying. And that's where I think we've done this really good in the second seven-figure business that we've built here, is that we've created a sales process that's standardized. It qualifies to make sure the client's a good fit. And if they are a good fit, it's the same exact process day in and day out. Now, obviously, the salesperson's going to put their own spin on it, and there's room for them to make it personal and their own. But to the core of it, the sales process and really the qualifying process is standardized. Now, this doesn't matter the service business, whether it's Simple Growth, lawn care, home cleaning. But the first thing that I've realized is, I've got to accept that I am not the only person that could sell. I'm probably not the best fit to sell. I need to create a standardized process that can be trained, especially after COVID now. We built everything in an online learning hub with videos and testing and for reinforcement of that training. And then now that we standardized that process, the second biggest mistake I made at Callahan's Lawn Care was there was not an accountability factor out the gate or a support factor. So what we do is very similar to the big three. So basically, we have 3 metrics that we track that drive our monthly and quarterly goals and drive into our yearly goals. But those metrics are tracked daily for accountability. and we have a weekly meeting. So I meet with my sales team and a few other individuals on Monday, but the sales team has an individual call with me. It's a standing virtual 10 to 15 minute call, or in person after COVID or before COVID. But basically, we've got those three metrics. We talk about how many people have come in the pipeline, how many are qualified, how many we've committed to that are actually potentially become a sale within the next, say, 30 days or the end of that month, and several other factors. But we've dialed in the top three there. And we don't only look at it for basically the week you're in or the week that had just happened before, but we look at it that week, the week before that, and then 3 weeks. So now we have a historical trend of how many leads are coming in, how many leads are turning into prospects that are qualified, and then how many sales are closed, and what is that CAC to lifetime value. So CAC to LTV is cost of acquired customer to lifetime value. So these are things we're tracking as metrics to make sure that the sales team knows where they're at and where they're going. And then management, as myself, can go in and support them and give them the tools they need. Now, in addition to that, the salespeople kind of pick in where those leads come into that sales funnel. So one of the other meetings I have on Fridays at I believe 2 or 3 p.m., but it's a reoccurring meeting at, I think actually it's 2 o'clock every Friday, is with my marketing and my marketing team, not necessarily the sales team. Now they do communicate because that's important, but my marketing team is talking about all the different ways we're advertising and going out organically and paid across the different social mediums, such as Facebook advertising. So not only do we have to have those conversations with our sales team, but we also have to make sure that funnel is full with qualified contacts for that sales team to do their job. So as you grow and scale that business to that 7-figure mark and beyond, some of the mistakes I made in the early years is I didn't create a process. So the business owner, after you get to a certain point, whether it's 750 to $1 million in sales, maybe a little before or a little after that, but the idea is the CEO, the business owner, the only way, in my opinion, that you're going to grow and scale that business is become the visionary, the strategic force. So you're setting the vision, you're setting the strategy, and you're setting metrics in place with team buy-in to track those things, such as your yearly, quarterly, and weekly goals, driving into that BHAG, that big, hairy, audacious goal. So that's your 10 to 15-year goal. And that has been instrumental in scaling Simple Growth significantly quicker to that 7-figure mark than Callahan's Lawn Care, which took quite a while through college and beyond. So the idea is that when we have the CEO pulling out of the field and jumping in when needed to support the team, we can set the vision, we can set this strategy, and then have meetings on a reoccurring weekly basis or daily basis with the key stakeholders to reinforce where we're going and continue to push relevancy. But the first thing that this video is about is, do you have the mindset to pull yourself out of that? And have you built the structure to allow that to happen? And not only have you built the structure, but then have you set a reoccurring support mechanism to grow and scale that business to 7 figures and beyond? And we can dive into some more detail in later videos, but those are the things that, in my opinion, are going to scale that business successfully, whether you're in $1 million or beyond $1 million, 5 million, those things need to happen. And then that 5 to 7 million mark, now we're taking that strategic vision and strategy of the leader as the CEO, and we need to distill that through the other managers and leaders and continue to replicate that throughout the larger organization. So main thing in the video today is make sure your mindset is right, that you are going to be the single point of failure in scaling your business if you think that you have to do all the jobs in the business and you think that you're going to be the best at them. Because the truth is, and the ugly truth, that business owners are going to have their strengths and weaknesses. And traditionally, we can find somebody as good, if not better, than us. And then we can bring our real value to scale the business and have a good work-life balance as a strategic leader and build that vision and strategy and scale the business. So comments, questions, drop below. I want to say it's up to Jake and Dustin, both crushing it out there in the lawn care world. What's up, guys?